Around the start of this year, I knew I needed to make a change in my life. I actually started going to church. I knew very little people there at the time, but what I did know is that I loved the church, and I loved the people there even more. One night they had sign-ups for this trip called Trek, which was a mountain climbing adventure, start of July. So I knew I really wanted to stay with this church. I decided to go ahead and sign up. Months later, we left early on Saturday morning and made it midway through Kansas. The following morning, we got up and drove to Salida, Colorado, to the base camp where friendly guides greeted us, prepped us for the upcoming week, and went over some important safety stuff with us. And then the next morning, got up and went on sort of rite of passage. Everyone has to rappel off a huge cliff. It wasn't really any drops, but it was still pretty scary for those who hadn't done it before. Some didn't hesitate, and some were super scared, but everyone made it down the descent. It was a great trust and team building exercise that really began to bond our group together. Once our group was done, we headed back to the vans, but not before the people at the bottom of the cliff helping out got yelled at by a guy hunting squirrels because we were making too much noise. So we piled back in the buses, drove half an hour down the road, turned onto a dirt road, drove down there for a while, and then just ditched the buses on the side of the road. We began our hike with so much enthusiasm and cheer. The first day's hike was not long, but did give us a great taste for what was coming up the next few days. A few turnarounds later, and we were at low camp. We had plenty of time before dark, so I started exploring the surrounding area and actually knocked some birds out of this nest I hit with my head. And so that was a big ordeal because I had to get them all back in there, and it took forever. And after cooking up some food, singing some songs, and doing devotional, we all went to bed and got some sleep for the next day. Day 2 of the hike was probably the most strenuous for me, because my body had not yet acclimated to the lack of oxygen associated with being that high above sea level. And on top of that, we were going up these huge ridges and hills only to go back down. So there really was no payoff to all this work you were putting in, which was a huge hit on morale. Just to show you how bad it was, one of the girls in our group passed out from the physical strain and the lack of oxygen. She ended up being okay, and all our efforts were rewarded when we arrived at high camp, which was nestled in between big cliff on one side and an ice-cold stream on the other. Day 3 was solo day. Everybody split up for 2 hours out of eyesight of anyone else and just spent time focusing on God, praying, and reading scriptures. We didn't have watches or phones with us though, and the guides ended up letting us go for 5 hours. I actually found a spot that had a 360-degree view of the entire mountainscape and just spent all my time up there. I think for half that time I actually just sat down, took in the view, while I made a sketch of the mountainscape and prayed. Once we all got back down to camp, we ate an early dinner and went to bed early because the next day was day 4, summit day. We woke up around 4 or 5 a.m. and started a dark hike up to the base of the mountain we were supposed to climb, which was Mt ORAY. As we traversed from woody trails to rocky riverbeds, we looked back behind us and were able to watch the sunrise, which is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, with all the haze that was in front of it. At this point, people were already growing tired. And honestly, there's a part of me that was afraid we might not be able to summit. They told us that occasionally groups are not able to summit because of weather conditions. Things might look great starting out, but in the Rocky Mountains, storms can pop up anywhere. On top of this, we were in a time crunch. We had to get to the top before a certain time, or else the hike back down would be pretty dangerous in the dark. And there was really nothing we could do but climb our hardest and pray for the best. Before we knew it, the mountain was directly in front of us. What a sight that was. Our goal was right in front of us. But as we came to realize, what's in sight does not mean that it's quick or easy to get to. Uneven boulders, steep switchback, and the unending feeling of being close to the summit but not being close at all really started to grind away our group spirits. Yet we were close. We were almost there. It's amazing what happens on an arduous climb. Some people, like myself, retreat inwardly and focus on the goal ahead. One foot after another, never giving up and never quitting, never letting the person behind you pass you. Others grabbed a buddy to help them move forward, to make sure they both did not stop. And others ran around, encouraging the whole group, which was really awesome to see. There really seemed to be no end to this maze of switchbacks and false summits. But finally, out of nowhere, we had arrived. The group elected some of the people who had had the most hard climb and those who had been encouraging others the entire time to go up first. We created a finish line celebration tunnel and cheered them on their last few steps to the top. And when each person reached the top of that mountain, they were met by the most spectacular view you've ever seen. It stretched out for miles and miles and miles. You can see the tips of colossal mountains, and the entire range is near foothills in relation to the Earth's magnitude. People are crying at the sheer beauty of the scene, and others at the fact that they had made a climb that they didn't think was possible for themselves. We spent a few moments praying and singing to God. This singing, that was honestly the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. came out of 20 hikers on top of a mountain, all tired, singing "Our God is an Awesome God" in perfect harmony with different levels and depths, and it was the craziest thing ever. I've never heard anything like it. It wasn't even planned, nothing. I wish I'd recorded, but I didn't. But our hike was not yet over because we still had to get down. And after 10 minutes of being up there, the guides told us it was time to go. It seemed like a short time, but ended up they knew what they were doing. They went from encouraging, "You can make it, come on, let's go guys," going up the mountain, to "Hurry up, go faster, let's get down this mountain, hurry, fast, 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 fast." It actually really did not sink into me what was happening until one of the guides abroad turned around and yelled at the entire group, "Guys, hurry up! We can't be up here anymore!" You remember what I said about the sudden storms? Yeah, light bulb. I looked to my right, and this cloud that 10 minutes ago was the size of a quarter was now taking up most of the sky. Now as we placed down our packs and put on our rain gear, the first drops started to come down, and we heard the first thunderclap. Part of the group practically ran down the mountainside. I don't know how they got down there so fast. If I was trying, I don't even know if I would have been able to do it. Others of us stayed back and made sure the slower group got down safely, because this ridge we had climbed up so easily was now super hard getting down from the unstable boulders and now the slick surface created by the rain. Now oddly enough, I really didn't feel like we were in danger, but I just knew it wouldn't be fun being up on top of a mountain in the middle of a lightning storm. Slowly, we made it back down to the safety of the tree line below us and started our trek back to the hike camp. I actually ended up carrying someone else's bag in addition to mine on the way back down, which ended up being really painful on my shoulders by the time we got back to camp. Oddly enough, when we got back, my legs felt like they could go right back up and hit the mountain one more time, but my shoulders was a different story. I've never felt pain in my shoulders like I did that day. So we ate, we rested, got a good night's sleep, and the next day we took a shortcut back to the vans. Everyone was tired but content. We had climbed a mountain, many of us our first time. God showed us that we could have not some of that day. He also showed us his marvelous power with the thunder cascading down the valley that we were in. Only one person said they wouldn't do it again, but we all knew better. They were hooked. Once all the pain wore off, they'd be ready to go again. In the end, we walked away with an amazing experience. There's people who went on that trip that won't even use that word amazing for hardly anything anymore, because they've seen something so crazy that's brought their definition of the word to a higher level. It just has a whole new meaning. So if you're thinking about climbing a mountain, I say do it. Take all the correct safety procedures, but definitely get up there. There's some amazing things you won't see anywhere else, not even through pictures. So thank y'all so much for watching. Go ahead and click right here to subscribe, and I want you to comment down below on what your favorite hiking experience was. Also, check out some more videos. I got my Cycling Sunday videos right here, and my Puerto Rico vlog right here. I catch an iguana, so I mean, that's pretty cool. But other than that, tune in Sunday for Cycling Sunday, and Wednesday, where I con a scammer.